I'm Jennifer Johnson, and I raise sheep for their wool.
Welcome to Whispering Pines Shetland Sheep Farm in western New York State, home to our lovely flock of soft Shetland sheep. We breed and raise our sheep to produce soft, crimpy wool for hand spinners to enjoy. Thank you for liking this video and for subscribing to our channel.
Oh my gosh, it's cold out today, but we got some snow last night, so it's really beautiful. Yesterday I noticed that Robin, one of my yearlings, had a really big rip in her coat. And so I got to change that today. And the reason is because I'm feeding him hay right now, and I'm feeding him hay in the barn. And so she's going to get hay in her fleece. And fleeces are, what this is all about. So I got to make sure that they stay clean. So we're going to go in and change the coat.
It was single digits Fahrenheit when I filmed this, so the sheep are staying in the barn during the day. I usually let them out, but the doors are frozen shut and I'm not working to wrestle them open. So I put the hay down with the sheep underfoot, and that's when those coats really earn their keep, keeping the hay out of the fleece.
There she is right there. Good morning. I'm going to change your coat today, okay?
The coats come in different sizes, so each one fits properly and protects the fleece.
So you can see there, nice big hole, and looks like she's got a gold coat on.
The supplier uses a color-coded sizing system, so each size has its own tag color. I interviewed him about the design process. That's videos here on this channel. The coats will vary by size, and red is the largest size we're using this year. And the tags just make it easy to see when a ewe needs to move up a size to make sure we put the right coat on.
So we're going to find a gold coat in my storage. I have two coats I just took off a sheep. I'm just going to look at those and see if either of those is gold. And this one is, actually. So there's a little tab here. So I don't have to go back into my storage. I'm just going to use this one. Oh, I can't use it because the leg strap is off. So that one has to get mended. It's hard for me to tell what color that is.
So many times I'll change coats on a ewe and leave the old coat right there in the same area of the barn where the sheep live. And then if I need to upgrade Sunday, they're right there. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at this coat, figured out that it's white, which is one of the bigger sizes. And I called her coat gold before I misspoke. It's actually orange. There's Robin popping her head up.
You think, Robin, you think you could fit in a white coat? You think a white coat would work? I don't know. She's filling that one out pretty good. Let me see. Get down for a sec so I can see you. Silly. That's how you always are, isn't it?
Robin is a gray cat mugget, which means she's got darker wool on the bottom than she has on the top of her body. And she also has this marking, it's called badger face, where you've got little diamonds in the eyes, but she has additional interesting spotting. Whoop, there she is, very excited, on her face. So she might be a spot carrier. She could be spotted. She was born on April 25th, 2024, and she's out of Brunhild, there's her mother, and Harry, who's a white ram. This is a video I made about her when she was just born. It's just a snippet. There she is stretching and pooping. She's a really friendly ewe, a little bit overly exuberant at times. She does this pawing thing. There, she just did it, but she'll paw me if she doesn't think I'm paying enough attention to her. She's always the first one in the morning to say hello. And she likes to chew on my coat zipper.
All right, I got to go out in the back and find the gold coat. I'm tempted to try that white coat. See, she's got the little mushroom bit sticking out in the back. You think a white coat might fit? Let's just try it and see. Most of my girls, I have to put effort into catching them. But Robin is always underfoot, so it won't be a problem, will it, sweetie? Hey, Debbie, come here. Okay, so the first thing I need to do, come here. That's actually pretty big on her. She is crazy. All right, I'm gonna use a orange coat or a gold color coat because that one is really loose on her. It fits her perfectly fine. So we're gonna go into this room. Sheep are acting really high-spirited right now. They've been pent up in this barn for like a week and a half. It's just been so cold. Oh no, there's a starling in here.
All right, why do I hate starlings? Number one, they nest inside the eaves, so I can't get at the nests to remove them. And they poop everywhere. They've just made a mess of the barn. I mean, granted, there's cobwebs I should clean, but I really didn't want to get starlings in the new addition because they're just going to ruin it.
Love to know how you got in here. All right. There's the orange ones. See, I think I have brand new ones here. I do. Nice, sparkly and fresh. All right. Okay, you got it. You can see the tag. This one is bright orange. So sometimes I say they're gold, but it's actually orange. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in the barn, which these girls have been locked in here for a week, which also means that it's not been cleaned out. There she is again. You're just relentless. Oh, you're just so happy. I'm gonna get you. I gotta feed them. That's what she's so. But I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna put your coat on before I put the hay out. Oh. All right, let's get you. So normally I have to use the shepherd's crook, but with Robin. Oh, you're just so curious. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is take her legs out. It's so cold.
I think we started using coats about 10 years ago, and we ended up, this is the best way to take them off and put them on, is to kind of straddle the ewe right around her shoulders to keep her immobilized.
Okay, let's get back in my shot here.
Ish.
You certainly have a lot of energy. All right, I just want to try and get a quick look at the fleece.
I think I've mentioned this before, but I harvest the fleeces under the coat, and I offer those in an auction format in the early summer. So it's a whole week long. Usually I have about 50 to 55 fleeces available. And that's the main source of revenue for the farm business, is getting those fleeces sold in the auction.
I like it. Dove?
Dove is another friendly ewe, and this is the downside of friendlies, is they just are a nuisance when you're trying to work with other sheep in the flock.
Stop it. Leave her alone. Okay. And now we're going to go this way. Take off the hat. bad. So the coat doesn't cover the whole body. So this neck wool is not covered. So I'm going to share with you my process for flicking neck wool. So the neck wool is not covered by the coat, as I just showed you. And neck wool is going to have, especially the stuff that's right on the top, it's going to be embedded with quite a bit of hay, poo, also called vegetative material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lock and I'm going to flick card it. And I want to show you how much extra effort. Normally, if it's a clean piece of wool, 3 flicks on either side, opens up the locks, gets rid of any second cuts, and opens up the tips. But when it's loaded with the hay like this, it takes quite a few more. So that was the base of the lock, not so bad. But when you do the tip, that's where it's really loaded. But it's worth it because neck wool's nice and fine. Famously on breeds where you're not breeding for fine, you will end up, you'll find the variation on the whole sheep pretty significant. The neck wool would be the softest on those type. All right, so here I have flicked it. It looks pretty good actually. But there still are tiny itty bits of, like I said, VM. Someone recently referred to this as field, and they said it has a lot of field in it, which I love that, so I've started using that. But that's the flicked lock. Now I can spin that, and you can peel the waste off your flicker, probably a little more waste than I would normally get, but this is just loaded with bits of hay, neps, but the hay, just the dirt, is kind of significant. So that just shows you how much extra effort goes into getting neck wool ready for spinning. Normally, the back of the neck, where the hay and everything is directly being dropped on her, that's going to be so bad that I don't even use that. But like the stuff around the sides and along the bottom, that's pretty much an example of what you would get in those spots on the sheep. So you got the neck hole, and then the feet. Look at everybody's got raw heads because we're all amped up. We're fighting, and we need to get outside. Okay. There we go. Let's see. All right. You okay now? Where's my gloves? Okay. Now, of course, they're going to give her the treatment because she looks like a new sheep now with a new coat. Sorry, Robin. I'm going to rip that one. No idea how she managed to rip it. They used to rip them on the underneath the steps here. They would rub on that. They've actually rubbed a really smooth edge. This used to be a sharp corner, but they rubbed it so much they exposed a nail, and that was getting their coats all ripped. So, but as you saw, Robin's got quite a bit of energy, so who knows what she did. All right, ladies, it's time for your hay. Normally when I do hay for them, I let them out and then put the hay on the floor and then bring them in, and that way the hay's not flying all over while they're in here. But the doors are frozen and it's just really cold, so we've just kept them inside until this snap breaks and we get back up into the 20s. It's single digits here. It's just ridiculous. Right, Aida? All right, let's look at the hay. So who is that girl? Who is she? All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
I left the camera on here because I wanted you to see what it's like when you introduce a new sheep into the flock. So obviously Robin is not a new ewe, but that coat is just throwing everybody off. And they're going to haze her like this until they settle down and realize, she's part of the flock. But it kind of makes you feel bad for Robin, but she can hold her own, so. And she's fine now. They got used to it and settled down.
For whatever reason, this year the bales are extraordinarily loose. Normally the flakes come out nice and compact, but these are just like a mess. That's good. Where is she? There you are in your nice clean coat. Stands out. So hopefully that'll last her till comes time to harvest the fleeces in April, May time frame. When I'll take off the coat and then they won't have coats on until late in the summer when I start feeding them hay again. And they need the coats back on to keep the fleeces clean. So mission accomplished.